Late Tuesday night, South Korean President Yoon Yeol declared martial law, which came as quite a surprise for a country that's been such a stable democracy for the past 40 years. Why did Yoon do this? He says that there were some anti state, pro North Korean forces that were preventing governance in the country. But now that the chips have fallen, it seems that it was much more politically motivated. Yoon has been isolated from most of the political life. He's been facing a lot of pressure, even from within his own party, and abysmal approval ratings in the low 20s. What happened on Tuesday, shortly after he declared martial law, the military was actually dispatched to stop all political activity, including blocking the National Assembly compound, which was important because the martial law decree needed to be approved by the National Assembly in order to go effect. Fortunately, for the sake of South Korean democracy, National Assembly members were able to sneak by the military with the assistance of nearly 300 protesters in order to pass a vote. 190 of those present unanimously voted to overturn the martial law. Since then, the opposition Democratic Party, which holds a supermajority in the National Assembly, has called for the resignation of President Yoon, and in fact, most recently, has filed a motion for his impeachment. This seems possibly likely given the fact that the Democratic Party has a supermajority and only needs about 8 members of Yoon's own party, the PPP, to support the impeachment, which will probably happen by Friday. Since then, the defense minister, who seems to be involved in advising the president to issue this decree in the first place, has submitted his resignation. And we're going to see what happens with the administration pretty quickly here going forward. So all this being said, it's really disturbing the fact that this was issued in such a surprising way. But I think something that's really important for us to think about and to watch is just how quickly this was resolved by civil society and major politicians in a nonviolent manner. So even though there were military dispatched to the national compound, including armed guards and tanks, citizens were able to block them. And there was virtually no violence that happened. This really speaks to a few things. First, it speaks to the vibrant networks that undergird South Korea's civil society mobilization that were activated really quickly through social media networks. And South Korea is one of the most networked societies in the world, meaning they were able to reach out to each other through social media very quickly in order to mobilize. Already, we've seen a lot of protests in Seoul and other cities throughout the country. One of the country's biggest umbrella trade organizations has also called for a general strike, which is putting additional pressure on President Yoon to either resign or put pressure on him because it's going to be disrupting a lot of the functioning of the country. So there's a lot for us to be watching. That it's going to be moving really quickly going forward, and hopefully it will continue to do so in a nonviolent manner.